Hey everybody, what's going on? Absolutely beast. Dang it, man. I do the same intro every time. It's so hard. It's such an old habit. I hope you guys are doing work today. So thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for the response to my first video that I put up on the Xbox One X. That video is blowing up and it's doing a lot of work. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying the video as much as I enjoyed playing it and making it, which was a ton. So thank you for that. So this one is 2 games. These were the first 2 games I played. So I got online.
Move out.
I joined into one game before this, and it was like a third of the way over. And so that was just my initial game. And this was the second game I played. Although, you know, again, the first one was only like 2/3 of a game, whatever. And then the second game I played was right after this. And I did some work. So I've only gotten 30 kills twice in this game. And I only play Team Deathmatch, so I've only gotten 30 kills twice. And these 2 games back-to-back were both 30 kills. This game was better than the second one, because the second one I ended up losing it for my team because I'm an idiot. But this one was a great game. This is a map that I don't like at all. So I was glad to have a good game on it, because that always makes it a little bit easier to tolerate. You know, when you have something that you don't like the map, you know, at least if you can do well, then things are not quite as bad. So there's a couple different things. So obviously there was a patch to the game which came out recently. I highlighted that in my previous video, but they basically fixed some stability stuff, and they fixed the infinite loading screen issue, and they fixed 1 or 2 other things. But most of what they did was they nerfed and buffed some guns. So they buffed a couple of guns. They buffed a shotgun and the Bren LMG. See, I'm an idiot. I thought that was where the door was. Get bayoneted! Right in the back. So, then they nerfed a few guns. So this BAR was one of the guns they nerfed. They also nerfed the STG. They also nerfed the... That's a nice kill there. They also nerfed the STG. They nerfed the hipfire spread. This gun, they nerfed the hipfire spread, and they slowed down the fire rate. So I basically was using it the other day and was just murdering people with it. And so I had been using the STG. Look at my teammate just lets that guy go right past him, dude. Like, are you kidding me? So I had been using the BAR, and it's really good. And I was also switching off between the STG a little bit also. Once they nerfed the BAR, the fire rate was just slow enough that it actually did affect the game for me. And so I decided to switch it up, and I wasn't doing as well with it the first day. So I switched it back to the STG and started tearing it up. And then after using the STG for a day or 2, I haven't been doing as well with that. So I switched back to the BAR, and now I've been tearing it up with this. So it's just sort of switching for me. You know, I guess at some point I used to be the guy that just used one gun, or usually one gun, but somewhere along the way, well, I know when it started. It started with Black Ops 2, because they had all those different things. They had the diamond camo, which is where you could get the gold camo for all the weapons in one category, and you get the diamond. And they had a special title called Primary Mastery if you got the gold with all of the main weapons. So I went through and did that actually twice. I did it all the way once, and then I decided to reset my stats because I didn't like how low my stats were, so I reset them. I cleared everything once I was a max prestige, and I went back and restarted it. But I kept the title, which was cool, but then I couldn't equip the title, so I decided to do it again. So I did it a second time. And I always felt like that was one of the reasons why my stats were not very good on that game, was because I was constantly switching guns. And, I mean, obviously each gun is suited for a different playstyle. So, as you guys know by watching, I mean, look how bad these guys are. Now, I will say, disclaimer, you know, the guys that I'm playing against are not the best competition. But, I mean, this is like a fairly standard lobby compared to what you run into on the game. So, but yeah, I mean, I realized that contributed to why my stats weren't so high. So but since that game, I've had a really hard time sticking with just one gun. There's just something about it that I can't do. And so I've been switching it off between the BAR, the STG. I haven't used the FG42 for a couple of days, but I was using that a lot. They also nerfed that gun. They increased the recoil. So yeah, but I mean, guys, just doing work. I mean, I go 32-12 in this game, which I mean, that's a lot. Like, if you think about, the game's only... And I don't know why I switched to my pistol there. I mean, I was trying to get a challenge, but I shouldn't have done that. So, if you think about the game only goes to 75. So if I got 32 kills, that means I got almost half of the kills for my entire team. And there's 6 of us on the team. So that's pretty epic. And like I said, I've only gotten 30 kills twice. I was just talking over that, but I heard him drop down and drop out. So that's how I knew he was over here. So yeah, I mean, only got 30 kills twice. One of the games I had the other day, which is so unfortunate because I wasn't recording, which is just so terrible. But it was probably the most dominant game I've had on Call of Duty in several years. I just literally could not die. I went 35-4 on a team deathmatch. And, I mean, I just absolutely dominated. Like, I literally did anything I wanted. I mean, if you think about that, that's basically a 9.0 kill death, or, 8.8 kill death. So that means that every time I died, when I came back to life, I got 9 kills on average for the whole match. Like, I literally could not be stopped. I just went everywhere and did everything that I wanted to do. And honestly, I couldn't even figure out how I died when I was telling my friend about it yesterday, or 2 days ago. I couldn't even remember how I died 4 times. Like, I couldn't even... Not like I don't remember each death specifically. I just mean, like, I don't know how I died 4 times. Like, I was absolutely destroying those people. So, that's the sort of level that you're on when you're getting 30 kills. I mean, I've only seen guys get 30 kills maybe, like, a handful of times, maybe 5 times max, that I've seen someone get 30 kills in this game in a team deathmatch. So, for me to get 2 games back-to-back at 30 was ridiculous. I mean, these are 2 of the 4 best games I've ever played, and they were just in back-to-back games just when I got on. So, guys, the game is so awesome. I'm so excited to be saying that because the last few years, it's not been the same. Black Ops 3 was good. I really liked Black Ops 3, but I burned myself out on it because I played too much. But the game just hasn't been the same for the last few years. And to say that this game has brought Call of Duty back is an understatement. The amount of copies it's sold, the amount of work that it's doing. And honestly, even though there's lots of server issues, which still dealing with getting booted at the end of a match, still dealing with the game disconnecting at the end of the match and then you can't get into it. I thought that was a guy right there. I'm still dealing with issues with my friend that I play with who keeps getting disconnected. And he, like, when we're in a party, he can't see any of the stuff on the screen, so when the match is over, he can't see any of the lobby screen, he can't change his class, can't look at his stats, can't do any of that, and then if I try to leave, I should have had a triple there, if I try to leave the game, then he gets a black screen, and he has to quit his game and then restart it. So there's lots of issues, server issues, and just, regular stability issues, and I said it before, but I think it's 2 parts. One, even though you technically have to blame Sledgehammer for that because it's their game, they're not as experienced as these other 2 companies. They're not as experienced as Infinity Ward or Treyarch at these type of situations. So I guess I hesitate to say it, but I guess it's understandable that there's issues like that. But at the same time, for a company like Activision and for a game that's going to move $500 million in the first weekend, it's a real shame. And besides the fact that Sledgehammer's kind of new to the Call of Duty, it's honestly a disgrace that a game can make $500 million and it's not even stable to play. Like, it's almost like it's a weird thing, dudes. It's almost like a screw you to us because, as I've heard mentioned, and which makes perfect sense, I didn't think about this, but my friend said, a lot of the speculation is that they're not going to spend the money to upgrade their servers right off the bat because the volume of players it's on the initial couple of days or week is not going to be sustained over the whole life of the game. So it doesn't make sense for them to beef up their servers really, really heavily and take on all that cost just to get through like a couple of days or a week or whatever. But, I mean, dudes, I can't even... So look at that. Let's see. The rest of my team got 14, 11, 8, 4 kills. It's 12, 23. So they got 36 kills between the 5 of them. And I had 32 just by myself. It was nuts. But so it doesn't make sense for them to beef up the servers really, really heavily and spend all that money and invest all that money because it's only going to be a limited time that people are going to be on. And that's a real shame. And that's what I mean when I say it's a disgrace. From Activision's perspective, it's an absolute disgrace that they do that to us, that they think like, who cares? Like, we'll just ruin everybody's launch experience, you know? And it's no big deal. They'll be fine. You know, it's only a week. Like, you know, these are coming. This is people who don't understand video games. You know, these are people who obviously understand business because Activision's a billion-dollar company. But people who don't understand the little subtleties of gaming because they probably haven't gamed for years. So that's just one of those weird things. It's I don't know that it could ever be the same. In that respect, because it's all about money now, and so they're not gonna like, you know, they're not gonna spend extra money that they don't have to spend, and as long as it doesn't affect the sales of the game, they don't care. But on top of that, T. Martin, who I love, and was my first person I ever subscribed to on YouTube. Well, I wouldn't say I love him. That's a strong word. I don't really love many people at all, actually. He was talking about this thing. He put up a video today called Triple XP. So, I've been thinking, you know, for a little while, like, it's kind of just not acceptable that Sledgehammer's, you know, that these servers are like this and that it's such an issue because, you know, the earliest part of the game is the most competitive by far. So, the first, like, couple days to week that the game's out, like, this is when you see that. You see how long it took me to kill him right there with that hipfire? That's terrible. That's how much they nerfed it. This is the most competitive time for the game. So, the amount of people that are on right now playing as hard as possible and doing as well as possible, those amount of people are, you know, they're the ones that are playing all the time. And they're the ones that are going to want to be on all the time. So, if half the matches you get booted out and you have to restart your game and come back, I mean, that's just so, like, I can only imagine the amount of time that it's cost people, and I can only imagine if I didn't have to work, if I didn't have a job, or if I had taken a whole week off like I did last year for Infinite Warfare just to play it. I can only imagine how incredibly frustrated I would be at this point. But seeing as how I'm in a different position now, I have to I'm working a lot and I have to take time, you know, to make videos and do stuff like this, so I don't get to play it as much. But man, it would be really frustrating. So in that sense, I can understand it. But also, you know, it might just be an attitude change for me also, you know. It might just mark an attitude change for me and just, you know, sort of being more adult about the game as opposed to just being, you know, I mean, like, seriously, like, to think about taking a whole week off of work to play, like, that's just ridiculous. This was the most excited I've been in several years for Call of Duty, and I can't, you know, I took a couple days, and I didn't take any days for Call of Duty specifically. I took a couple days for the 1X, just so I could get used to that, because I wanted to make sure I could iron out all the recording and uploading stuff first before I had to get back to the grind. So, but I mean, it's just so much fun. I'm enjoying it so much. I can see myself playing it for a while, and also I'm getting better, and that's something that I can't say for Call of Duty for years. I've not been able to play. I was just checking out that smokestack there. It's been years since I was able to play a Call of Duty and actually improve over time. So it's just a real different experience for me. You know, everybody says Call of Duty's back, and they're all excited. And they're all like, oh, it's so exciting. Call of Duty's back. Their boots on the ground. I mean, that's doing a disservice to Call of Duty because there's so much more to it than that. I mean, it is mainly the boots on the ground, and there's no advanced movement, but people don't really understand how drastically that changes the game. Drastically. I mean, any of you guys who've played this game know what I'm talking about. It plays a lot slower than previous games, and these maps are I would argue, almost smaller than previous games, or as small as previous games, where the games were extremely chaotic, yet this game plays much slower, and it's much more tactical. And you can't just, like, charge in and do crazy stuff. So, I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys are too. Like I said, thank you for the support on the previous video that I put up from the 1X. That was an epic amount of support, and I'm super glad a bunch of you guys are enjoying it. I ended up getting him right here. He was just being dumb. And yeah, I mean, these were just a couple of real good matches. And I thought it was worth it to put these up because, you know, they were good. And, you know, I not only do I want to make interesting content, you know, obviously it's a little bit unique to have the 4K 60. That was one of the reasons, actually, that I was excited to buy the console. Once I made the decision to get a PC and to do, you know, a lot of my editing and stuff on the PC, which I just got recently, once I made that decision, I kind of questioned buying the 1X, but as soon as I started looking into some stuff, I realized that if really one of the best capture cards you can buy you basically have to buy a 2-part capture card that goes inside your PC. And I looked at this, a couple months back. And these can only do 4K at 30 frames per second. And the two of these combined is like $250, $200. So to think about the fact that you can just get the 4K 60 game capture built in to it is ridiculous. Like, when I'm looking at YouTubers who have millions of subscribers and they're capturing off of their own, Elgatos at 1080 60, like, it's pretty awesome that I'm able to upload in 4K. So I really hope you guys enjoy that. I mean, based on the amount of views that video got compared to what my videos normally get, it seems like you guys appreciate it as much as I do, the real 4K. And there's already one of you guys who commented and said that I basically sold you on the X after putting up my first video, which was cool. And then just a couple days later, a follow-up comment saying you actually got rid of your regular Xbox One and upgraded to the One X. So that's just awesome. That's why I do this. Not only do I want to bring you like entertaining stuff and informational content, but I also want to bring you good gameplay. I feel like that's something where I can get ahead, because I've played Call of Duty for a lot of years, so I don't want to be one of those guys that uploads gameplay that's just total crap. Because why would you watch that? Why does someone click on a video of someone playing? Either they have great information, or they like the personality, or their gameplay is incredible. So I'm hoping that at least for some of it, I can have all three of those things. Obviously, you can't have everything you want in life, but hopefully you guys enjoy these videos. I really appreciate it if you like my content. Subscribe. There's plenty more to come. I don't see myself letting up anytime soon on uploading these videos, and certainly not letting up playing anytime soon. So I hope I see you guys in the next one. Thanks for being here and checking it out. Have a good one. I'll catch you guys next time. Make sure to subscribe. I don't know if I said that because I'm an idiot, but thanks, guys. See you later.
They're in the bridge! He's dead! He's a goner! He's taking cover!
Opposition holds the bridge!
Recon airborne!
Enemies on the upper deck! I got him!
Oh. Need another bandolier! Bring up! We can't keep this up! Forward back! Grenades first! Recon flight concluded.
They're on the upper deck!
Heads down! The bridge! I got him! It's a massacre! What the hell happened out there?